Petit Planet is an upcoming cosmic life simulation game featuring exciting exploration, charming characters, adorable customization, and a warm, comforting atmosphere. So if you enjoy experiences that offer lots to do and collect, balanced with a relaxing gameplay loop, this might be the perfect game for you to try next. Hello friends, Sarah Sunstone here, and welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. In today's episode, I'll be sharing my thoughts on my experience going hands-on with an exclusive preview of Petit Planet ahead of the Stardrift playtest taking place from April 21st. This will include my first impressions of the game, along with some heartwarming standout features that I really wanted to share. A big thank you to Hoyoverse for taking care of creators like me and very kindly sponsoring today's video. And now, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So Petit Planet is set in the beautiful Starsea, where you get to nurture and grow your very own home planet. And I actually mean that in the literal sense, so stay tuned to learn more. You'll start out on your new galactic adventure by creating your character, selecting from different customization options, including skin tone, eye shape and color, hairstyle and color, and a starting outfit. You'll also choose your name, a fun title for yourself. I went with Stargazing Pisces, and you'll also set your birthday. I love that we get to create a character, but I would really like to see this initial customization further expanded in the future, especially the hairstyles. But it is definitely worth noting that there are more hairstyles and colors, more eyes, tons more outfits, and other cosmetics available to unlock throughout your gameplay as well. So this is just the start. Once you've decided on your appearance and personal details, you'll actually get to pick the galaxy where you'd like to start your new life. And depending which galaxy you choose, the initial terrain and native fruit of your home planet will vary, which I thought was a really fun spin on an idea like this. Now, something surprising that captivated me right away was the game's voice acting. Yes, you guys, this game has voice acting, and from what I experienced, it was of really nice quality and included the main storylines for every character I met, even in this earlier build of the game.
Captain! Thanks, Captain Mo. Wow, a new friend! I'm Glenn. Welcome!
This is an eco-tank, specially designed to settle a wide variety of creatures. It's ideal for ecological observation.
It was honestly such a breath of fresh air to experience this, and truly added another layer of immersion and comfort, I would say, to the game's world. We just need more voice acting in simulation games, so I'm really happy to see Petit Planet step up to the plate with this. So as previously mentioned, you will actually be growing your own planet. And I would say this is the core gameplay loop because it's linked to most other activities that you'll be enjoying along the way. You'll kickstart this initiative by planting a Luca seed, which will form a connection with the planet, nourishing its evolution the more you care for it. This will spark the growth of a variety of landscapes and ecosystems, and will also unlock new major gameplay features for your planet. As you complete a variety of quests and activities around your home base, you'll collect Luca produced by the planet, which can be used to water the Luca plant to grow it into a tree and help your planet thrive. You'll also ultimately collect different special fruits to add to the tree that you're constantly tending to, which will offer even more benefits to enjoy. As you do this, you're leveling up your planet and unlocking things like new terrain, new creatures, and sometimes you'll even experience changes in the planet's appearance, which is pretty cool. I thought this was a really neat system, and I personally found it to be very motivating and rewarding. I was constantly excited to discover what I would unlock next and how my planet would evolve, while also being constantly rewarded in a meaningful way for completing quests and engaging in simple daily activities. This includes fishing, bug catching, and beach combing, so there's lots of different critters to discover and catalog. You can also forage for important resources. You can garden with a fairly fleshed out system that features different types of crops, different crop effects, pest control, and even a chance for mutated crops. You can also cook delicious dishes to replenish your strength and craft a huge variety of items and furniture. I also wanted to note how much I really loved the high quality and adorable animations for many of these activities. For example, your character's celebration when catching a new fish, or the way they lock in and focus when crafting a new item. It's just so precious. Now, one area of the game that really stood out to me was the building and decorating. This includes your home interior, but you can also decorate outside all around your planet. Your home itself is upgradable, so you can expand the size of it over time, and you can also change the exterior appearance to an extent if you'd like. When decorating outside, you'll use the third-person camera mode to place items, but for interior design, you can choose between this mode or you can switch to a top-down view depending which you prefer. Also, for interior spaces, on top of furniture, you can also customize with wallpaper, flooring, windows, rugs, wall and ceiling items. And whether indoors or outdoors, you can place items on top of other compatible items, so stuff on stuff. And you can also decorate with things like cooked dishes, materials, produce, and more. So there's lots of categories of items to choose from. In the great outdoors, you can also use all sorts of furniture. You can place down rugs, you can use fencing, make pathways, place arches, ramps, bridges, and more. So you really have lots to work with, but at the same time, the mechanics themselves are relatively simple, so they don't feel overwhelming. The item placement is bound to a grid, and at this point, you can't place items on angles, which I would love to see added. But one thing on the topic of rotations that I absolutely loved is that you can actually rotate buildings, including yours and your neighbors' homes. And bridges and ramps are placed instantly, which is a really nice bonus, so you don't have to wait. Now, there is a really extensive catalog of furniture available, and it's obtained from a variety of different sources. It can be purchased using your earned currency called dough at the local shop run by Glenn, which offers a rotating selection. There's also other special items available at the Plaza's terminal, and these can be redeemed using an action-based currency that is earned through your daily activities. Other pieces of furniture can also be earned as quest rewards, they can be received as gifts from your neighbors, but a lot of it is also crafted with resources gathered from around your planet. You can find inspo cards for these craftable items in many different ways. Some will be gifted to you from your neighbors, others will be unlocked as quest rewards, and I even found some when hitting a tree, which was a really nice surprise. Another really nice touch for decorating is that you can actually put together little areas where you can host events with your neighbors, which is just a nice addition to bring even more life to your planet. And that brings us to the next standout feature that I wanted to dive into a bit further, which is the charming cast of residents. I really enjoyed meeting the different neighbors, each with unique designs, interesting personalities, and again, voice acting, so you can actually have conversations with them when engaging with their main stories. These characters really help bring even more life and warmth to the world, so you're never going to be feeling alone as you go about your daily routines. When you first arrive on your planet, you'll be accompanied by Mobai, who I would consider as your main guide for getting oriented and learning how to nurture the planet. You'll also be accompanied by Elsasani, the bunny mechanic who loves exploring and will help you with repairs. And finally, Glenn, who runs the local shop and is seriously so adorable. Over time, you'll meet new core neighbors who will want to move to your planet, like Morse, who has a fascination with creatures, and Youngwo, who is very shy, very sweet. She's moving away from home for the first time, and she's a little farmer, so she will teach you how to garden. Now, many of these characters are part of the main story. They have important roles, and they introduce you to new gameplay features. But others you can meet out on your adventures and invite them to live on your planet. But regardless of how you meet, the neighbors each have their own personalities and preferences, with some fairly detailed backstories and even more to learn and unlock as your bond grows. You can level up your relationship with each character individually to unlock rewards through their friendship constellations. You'll also help them nurture their own planets and will enjoy specific, charming little quests like helping them furnish their new home. To grow closer with each neighbor, you can also simply have chats, you can experience neighbor events, you can give them gifts, and even go on Starsea Voyages together. So this realm of the game was super fun to explore, and I honestly feel like I've only scratched the surface of what it will ultimately offer, because it's a pretty expansive feature. So remember, the Starsea is the name of the universe in which the game is set, and you can actually explore so much of it on dedicated voyages outside of your home planet, First, you'll need Elsa Sani's help to fix up and customize your own car, which can then be used to travel around the Starsea, and from here you can choose which islets you want to stop at along the way. Each of these islets feature unique resources to collect that you might not have yet at home, like new fruits, new flowers, bugs, and fish, just as some examples. Some islets will have treasure chests to find, others will have interactive puzzles to solve, and even vendor stalls to shop from with unique selections of inspo cards, seeds, resources, and more. And this is also where you can meet new characters who could one day become your neighbor if you so choose. I experienced such a sense of wonder going on these trips. I never knew what I would discover next, and every islet I personally went to had something unique to offer. There was also such a variety of islet designs and offerings to come across. I mean, look at this islet I found with gray grass. So cool. I also really loved bringing some neighbors with me, who are more than just good company because they'll actually help you collect resources depending on their specific skill sets. And everything they collect goes directly into your inventory to keep and bring home with you. On top of all of this, there's also a nice sense of progression because over time you can upgrade your vehicle so you can travel farther distances and visit more islets, including some special ones which are unlockable as you progress your gameplay. Now, although you can enjoy much of the game on your own and surrounded of course by the company of your neighbors, there are also some really sweet but low-pressure social features available to experience. The main area for this is the Galactic Bazaar, which you can visit whenever you'd like. This is essentially the social hub of the game, where you can meet other players and add them as friends, but there's also a really nice variety of activities to enjoy. There are rhythm mini-games if you want to start a band. There's a space to gather around the campfire and tell stories. There's fun prizes to win as well. My personal favorite was the Untamed Cafe, where you can enter to enjoy a cozy drink with friends, with the option for private lobbies here. I really appreciated how this wasn't a forced component of the game, and while you will be introduced to it, it's totally optional from then on. Outside of the bazaar, you can also visit the planets of others, including friends or those you meet within the world of the game. You actually can visibly see others' planets drifting by your own, which gives that feeling of being in a shared galaxy, and you can ensure your planet is set up to your preference with different privacy settings to choose from. A couple of other little touches I really appreciate for social gameplay included the ability to send photos you take with the game's photo mode directly to those nearby. So if you capture a nice moment together, it makes it so nice and easy to share that within the game. And of course, you guys know I'm a sucker for emotes, and luckily we have a great selection of them here, so you can have lots of fun, share your personality, and express yourself among friends. I do have to say that overall, I was very impressed with my time playing Petit Planet. I honestly had really wanted to try out this game earlier, but unfortunately I missed the previous beta, so this was so exciting to me to be able to get a chance to try out the game. Finally, the quality and polish is already there. From the art to the sound design, the music, the voice acting, the cutscenes, and the gameplay mechanics themselves. Everything so far that I experienced feels really smooth, the gameplay loop is satisfying, there are lots of activities to enjoy, and there's so much to collect, from furniture to outfits, resources, critters, and more. I also really love how the sense of great exploration with the Starsea Voyages is balanced really nicely with the comforting experience of returning to your home planet, and I absolutely love how it goes a step further, where you're actually caring for and nurturing that planet along your journey. It feels like things are constantly evolving in a meaningful way. I wasn't sure at first if I would connect with the neighbors, but I had that instant feeling of warmth. The neighbors do really feel full of life. I really think the voice acting helps so much, on top of everything else, of course. And again, there's also that option for social gameplay, so it's really just checking off basically every box I personally look for in a life simulation game. But, as I previously said, there are a couple things I would still like to see. I would love to see some additional options for character customization added, and perhaps a bit more flexibility with some of the design mechanics, though that one specifically isn't entirely necessary. Petit Planet will be releasing on PC and mobile free to play, with no confirmed details for monetization just yet. There's also no news yet on other platforms, but I personally would absolutely absolutely love to see it come to PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch 2 would be lovely as well. Don't forget that the Star Drift playtest is taking place from April 21st, so this could be a great opportunity for you to try out the game for yourself. If you're curious to learn more, be sure to visit the video description. Well, there you have it, friends. Those were my first impressions, my initial thoughts on my experience with my preview of Petit Planet. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one down in the comments. Have you tried this game? Are you excited for it? Which features stand out to you the most? Anything and everything. You know I always love hearing from you. Again, thank you so much to Hoyoverse for sponsoring today's video and supporting my channel. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care.